Your August reading. So it has been a time of like density recently, a little of instability from the start of August, I guess, on the collective, but we had that triple conjunction in your sign, Taurus, Uranus, the North Node, and Mars lining up together in Taurus, creating an urgent sense for reevaluation, kind of a shedding of the old for you in a big way. The Death card coming through at the bottom of the deck with the Empress card. Note we have the Moon here too. I feel like last night's full moon was just what you needed to finally see something, how you've been destined to see it in a sense. You're kind of really shedding an old way, even old connections at this time. It's about you realizing your value more and more, and your worth, and it's a reflection then of the kind of energy you want to surround yourself with. Now, it does seem like there's been a lot of emotional baggage that you are also, in a sense, relinquishing, but the work there is not fully done. The nines are close to the end of that cycle, however, so it seems like you're really close to breaking some sort of a cycle, or at least offloading what it is that you have been holding on to or carrying for this amount of time. You know, you wouldn't want to walk all of these steps with a lot of heavy baggage. I would rather go up there with, like, you know, little to nothing. And then it does seem that it seems like perhaps around this full moon was in a fixed sign, like your fixed Earth, Taurus. We have the Sun in fixed sign, Leo. We have had a triple conjunction of those three planets I mentioned earlier in Taurus at the beginning of August, another fixed energy. And last night's full moon, or yesterday's full moon, was in fixed sign air Aquarius with Saturn, a very reality check kind of planet, you know, like this is doesn't have to be pretty or dressed up in a bow for you. Overall, I think that the most like the realization has occurred, at least for you, and the beginning of the death, if not the rebirth process, is already underway. So let's clear these cards up by going a little deeper. If you wouldn't mind subscribing to this channel, that would be great, Taurus. And I have a love reading for you exclusively on my Patreon, which I'll link below. But for now, let's see what you've been working with and what has made you feel like this is confidence that's coming through. So that's been something really positive, and you've been celebrated in such a way that is making you feel like more able to tackle what's next. The Temperance card and the Moon card. Yes, of course, because this chill, or this new way of being, and this calmer way of existing with yourself and then in the world, the more at peace you are, the better relationship you're beginning to have with yourself. The Temperance card is this sort of alchemical rebirth, like we saw the Death card being that, let's say, phoenix about to go up in flames. The Temperance card is the rebirth from something that you thought was like, okay, worst case scenario, this is just couldn't deal, terrible. Even Moon card, terrifying, right? Or something that really invoked like a what am I going to do about this? Panic response. There's been like an alchemical process for you, like that kind of rebirth is already underway. But yes, it maybe scares you still, maybe it is uncertain still, but you're armed better because you're in a better relationship with yourself overall entering the month of August. And this is maybe necessary for what's next in your journey. You could be dealing with a Sagittarius or a Pisces at this time. Another, the Hermit, and another, the Sun card. So yeah, this is an extremely clarifying and illuminating time in your life, Taurus. I mean, these are opportunities for you that are coming out of in all ways, in all angles. Like, some are very obvious, that there are opportunities for your growth coming through. It's so loud and clear and beautiful and dazzling, and it really feels like it would be so good for you. And then the others may be more subtle, and the subtleties may start to play out a little later in like August, September, but maybe some of you are feeling that already, that there is something else that is being illuminated for you on a deeper level, on maybe a more personal level, and even a more private level. So it's all been a lot of soul growth for you recently, Taurus. I'm not surprised to see all these major arcana cards coming up already as we look at your, let's say, recent past, or what you've just moved through whenever you happen to be watching this. Yeah, there may be Leo or Virgo energy coming into the picture for you too. And overall, I'm seeing like this is all setting you up for some sort of a journey, but I think you're in the position to let go of something, some emotional baggage at least. It seems like you've been through something at this point at a particular stage of your kind of evolutionary development, let's say. If you'll indulge me, I just dropped a card here. It was the Devil card. The Three of Swords and the Devil card, really having to face like a long time coming reality checks with the World card in reverse, about what's been unhealthy for you and what's been maybe even toxic for you, or putting you or causing you stress or strain on some level. Okay, let's keep going anyway, Taurus, with the rest of the reading. We'll pull cards and see where this journey is taking you in August. It's not so much of a private journey. There's something about the perhaps spotlight being on you in a bigger way, or yeah, like feeling like, you know, this is something that's coming out in the open. The Daughter of Wands and the Six of Pentacles, which is the Moon in Taurus too. The Moon in Taurus is going to be taking place in about a week's time. The Moon will move into Taurus. And around, you know, anytime after around, let's say the 18th, 19th, or perhaps when the Sun moves into Virgo around the 23rd, in and around that time, the 18th to the 23rd, communication starts to become energized again around a particular issue. And it does seem to have like quite a balanced or maybe even like resolute tone or finality to it, but also there is a sort of balance and awareness and greater sense of harmony once things seem to be out in the open. What else does August have in store for you? Son of Cups, sometimes seen as the Knight of Cups, and the Justice card. So there is some sort of a trying to find a mediation or trying to find a solution for you in August. There is this sort of tone of you needing to be more flexible, to find more of a gray area at this time, and see that perhaps there isn't necessarily a right or wrong, and there is room for all perspectives and points of view, and in fact it's just downright necessary to a certain extent, of course, for things to function with some sort of balance. The Son of Cups and the Justice card, there's almost like there is a extension of grace here, and this graceful swan is kind of coming toward the situation, the choice, or the crossroads you find yourself at in August, with a adaptable, flexible solution, but also with that reminder to see the gray area, that the situation may not be as cut and dry as you would think. The Son of Swords at the bottom of the deck is suggesting that the urgency around this is waning, and you can feel it calming down, but you still need to, in a sense, let go and actually allow this to happen and relinquish any attachment you have to this playing out, this cycle or whatever's going on. So I'll look then, yeah, this the Son of Swords, and we're back with the Empress card. So this Empress is around the rebirth, and there is a lot that you don't really need to take with you, and it seems like you have to get a little more decisive with yourself, and put yourself, so to speak, under the microscope and see what it is that you're leaving behind that isn't really fitting in this loving Empress energy that you have been really harnessing or trying to fully harness for a while now. And you really do, it does seem like you're on that rebirth path now, and that's where you want to go at this time in your life, towards that Empress embodiment. So the Four of Cups, or sorry, the Four of Pentacles, Seven of Swords, and the Daughter of Pentacles. Quite a reserved energy and quite a closed off vibe I'm picking up on towards the end of August. Some sort of a plan you have in early stages at the beginning of September is starting to give you doubts, or like cause you to question the route or scheme you're doing or taking. Like, are you sure that this is going to deliver you what you want in the end? And are you prepared for what if it doesn't? And if it's coming at the cost of your peace of mind and sanity, Nine of Swords in reverse at the bottom of the deck, you maybe are sacrificing too much if you were to do something that is causing you stress already. And maybe you haven't thought of the possibility of, like, either way, you know, you're digging yourself a hole, and at the end of August you realize you maybe should have just surrendered to something. It could be that indication of like what's to come will be easier dealt with at the time in late August, beginning of September, if there's fairness and flexibility in the interim. Now, it may be hard, Taurus, to be flexible at this time. We are in the middle of a fixed season. Up in the northern hemisphere where I'm at right now, we're at fixed fire energy, the height of the summer in New York. In the southern hemisphere, you're going to be in the middle of the fixed winter season, but it's all about that fixed energy we're being enclosed in right now. So things will begin to loosen up by the 23rd. We'll have gotten the sun into a mutable sign. We do have had, Leo and Venus are still activated. There is still a lot of fixed energy, but Gemini will be lit up by having Mars coming in. So we'll be getting more mutable, changeable energy towards the end of the month. And I think that's when you're kind of willing to see something that makes its way towards you in around the 11th to the 23rd of August. There is this opportunity for something to soften, but you have to kind of take that or see it as the kind of gray area, or maybe some sort of I guess like a mediation comes up. It's part of the journey, at least, right? But there is another thing which you could do, which may cause you stress as you're already experiencing, is try to make a plan work that may not even, there's no guarantee that it would work, and you could at the expense like find yourself more withdrawn or closed off in some way. I'll close the reading out with one card coming up for an overall message for August, and leave you with that, Taurus. Thank you for watching. Two of Swords, Two of Wands at the bottom of the deck. You have, the choices are yours. You don't have to rush into anything that's causing you indecision right now, but there is some sort of a opportunity for you to still act on something. Do what feels right for you. Try to surrender to your own intuition and moving with what feels right at the time, without letting like ego, pride, or stubbornness get in the way. Have a great month ahead, Taurus, and see you soon.